Hello and welcome to Channel Sport this morning. It's great to have you join us again. I am Taya Salam.
I'm Cecilia Omogbe. This morning we begin with the news. The Tigers, they've been silenced by Australian Team B. That's after the draw against USA and Argentina.
Ouch, ouch, ouch. That's a dose of reality check for Nigeria's D Tigers. They lost by 39 points against the Boomers of Australia. Also on the show this time around, let's go to the Olympics where Roger Federer, 20-time Grand Slam champion, has pulled out with a knee injury.
Not surprised about that at all. He was skeptical about going to Tokyo in the first place, but with the knee injury, he will not be in Tokyo.
Too bad.
No Nadal, no Federer. Djokovic is 50-50, no Serena Williams. Okay, Naomi Osaka seems to be one of the biggest stars.
She's going to be the star attraction.
Star attraction at the Olympics. Also on the program, UEFA First 11 is out, and there is no highest goal scorer from the tournament. I'm talking about the almighty Cristiano Ronaldo.
Almighty?
He was snubbed.
Really?
Highest goal scorer?
Yeah,
it's not
one of the greatest players of all time.
Crashed round of 16.
Yeah, very interesting. Best 11. Ronaldo missing conspicuously. Of course, the Italians and the English players dominated the team of the tournament.
So you got one from Denmark and Belgium.
All right, then. We'll come back to that later on the show. Let's start off with the NBA Finals. Game 4 tonight. Cecilia, I'm very excited to see what the Milwaukee Bucks will do against the Phoenix Suns in Milwaukee, obviously. And after winning Game 3, they're expected to go on and win Game 4 and tie the series tonight.
Just like they did against the Nets, right?
Just like they did against the
Nets. If they can do that tonight, then they will just have 1-2 more games to play to see if they can. Win it for the very first time since 1971. For the Bucks, they have their work cut out. Just play the way you did in Game 2 and try as much as possible. Giannis know how to put up 40, 41, 42 points. Other players also need to step up, but we don't know what the likes of Devin Booker is going to be up to on the day because of what happened. DeAndre Ayton, of course, will try as much as possible not to get fouled out so that he can actually see if he can contain, Giannis.
Yeah. They're talking about building the wall again. Cecilia, that's a confirmation of Game 4. The Suns, of course, lead the series 2-1. The Bucks will be looking to tie it up tonight. Like I said, they're talking about building the wall against Giannis, but we've seen so far in the games it's played, coming off back-to-back 40 points performances. That is very difficult to stop. You might build a wall and it goes right through your wall or it goes over it. That's why he's a freak. He's not a normal player, So the Suns have their work cut out. If they can't stop Giannis, then they just have to stop the other players and make sure those other players don't have any say in the Bucks winning Game 4.
All right, let's see if that aggression that they had in Game 2 will play out tonight in Game 2, in Game 3. Will play out tonight in Game 4. Let's listen to the coach of the Milwaukee Bucks talking about how they intend to draw inspiration from what they did against the Brooklyn Nets while playing the Suns tonight.
We talked about it some after Game 2. That I do believe there's reference points. There's things that you can learn throughout the season. There are things that you got to draw on. It doesn't guarantee or fix or really do more than just give you that reference point. And the players have talked about it. We've talked about it. There's things from series to series, regardless of how they've gone, where you can draw on them. And whether it's offensive concepts, defensive concepts, you're just building habits, you're building reference points that you can draw on that, build confidence and give you opportunities to go out and compete.
All right. They know what to do because Milwaukee had 13 offensive rebounds and attempted 26 free throws. That was all thanks to the aggression from who? Giannis Antetokounmpo. So what will the Suns do tonight?
So the Suns will still try to do the same thing, build a wall, try to whack Giannis a lot, send him to the free throw line and hope he misses like he usually does. But in Game 3, though, it must be said he made over 80% of his free throws.
Yeah, because he was playing at home and the pressure of him, he will take his time to actually make the...
And there are no fans taunting him and, putting him under pressure. So very interesting to see if the Suns succeed in stopping Giannis Antetokounmpo tonight in Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Let's go to the other camp now. Let's get to listen to the coach of the Phoenix Suns, Monty Williams. Cecilia, of course, they'll be looking to go take a step further to winning the first NBA championship with a win tonight in Milwaukee.
Yeah, it's not delicate at all. It's a hard truth that you have to do both. You have to be able to show a wall, but also have the integrity of your defense intact on the other side. And that particular play was a bit of an anomaly because normally he's attacking and, it could be a clear side. That particular play, Drew just sprinted to the corner. We had no awareness of that. They kicked it 3. But to your point, you have to do both. There's no in between with this team. And when you can do both, you can have success.
Monty Williams, we'll be hoping that star guard Devin Booker does a lot better than he did in Game 3, where he shot just 3 for 14 from the field. And they can't win that way if Booker is having a terrible shooting night like that.
And then DeAndre Ayton also not get fouled out because immediately he was out. I mean, they had to struggle for that defensive stop, which he wants them to focus on. I mean, he had just 24 minutes on court. And, of course, even that's why they had contributed about 18 points before he was fouled out. So he needs to try and stay in the game.
Stay out of foul trouble.
Out of foul trouble.
Cecilia, Giannis is almost difficult to stop.
Of course.
With your full team. Now imagine trying to do it without your center, without your big man in DeAndre. Your chances are as good as none.
Slim,
diminishes,
very slim.
Diminishes
very
greatly.
Tiny, like you're drawing, just like you're drawing the offside line.
Yeah. So
Imagine
DeAndre still out of foul trouble. Perhaps you guys might have a chance of stopping Giannis and the Bucks from tying the series in the NBA Finals. Let's get on with the show now. This time around, let's go. I'll continue our countdown to the Olympics. It's 9 days to go. Can you believe that, Cecilia?
It's so close.
9 days, so close.
So let's say starting next week, right?
Pretty much. That's
so.
what it is. 9 days to go to the Olympics, and we're all excited. Team Nigeria, of course, second batch departed yesterday. They're en route to Tokyo, where they'll be representing the country in the biggest multi-sports events in the world.
Well, before that, let's talk about updates coming from the IOC. I mean, IOC have actually accepted that, yes, they know they will not have fans at the games, but then they accepted that with a very heavy heart.
Very heavy
but
heart
then
indeed.
They're sharing of creative broadcast, the ways where athletes will be able to enjoy, competing even without having the support of the fans they would have loved to have.
Yeah.
And this is actually coming from the IOC president himself, that's Thomas Bach. He believes that, well, the decision to not have the spectators, it's okay, but it's accepted. But then they will have to make sure that the broadcasters will create different ways for the athletes to enjoy the support that they could have been able to get from the spectators that could have been present at the stadium.
Yeah, we've seen during the height of the pandemic, how broadcasters got creative in terms of showing games. We saw it in La Liga, we saw it in Germany, in the Bundesliga, even the Premier League as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing what these broadcasters will come up this time around. We've already seen samples, on previous shows. It's not going to be the same thing.
Yeah.
It's a shame that Tokyo 2020 will not be that public spectacle that you expect from the Olympics, but it is what it is. And IOC President Thomas Bach, like Cecilia said, doesn't have a choice but to accept that these games will go ahead without fans. But he's doing it with a very, very heavy heart.
This will look after you.
Let the value.
And that's what we are doing, focusing us.
We have supported this decision of having no spectators in most of the venues with a heavy heart, because we wanted to have, like every sports fan, you want to have full stadia. And this is not only about the spectators, it's first of all about the athletes. They want to feel the atmosphere in the stadium and the support coming from the public. But this decision and our support for this decision shows that we are walking the talk. We do not only say safety first, we deliver on it, even if it was a difficult decision. This, at the end, makes broadcasting and the broadcasters even more important, because they then can participate in a way to create at least a part of this atmosphere, normally created by live spectators. So we are very grateful there to OBS and the broadcasters around the globe, that they are very creative and innovative in this, and I'm promised that we will see some very good innovations and surprises, and we are looking forward to this together with the athletes, who will enjoy some support even without so many live spectators.
Yes, the ban on spectators, of course, obviously is going to cost the organizers millions of dollars in revenue, and that's another angle that we could go to. But Cecilia, it is what it is. The Olympics will go ahead without the fans. Too bad.
Okay, talking about someone that would not be at the Olympics, Roger Federer. He's the biggest draw when it comes to a multi-sports event like this, but he would not be representing Switzerland. He's not happy about it. Well, you know the reason, because of the knee injury he had. It's a setback for him at the grass court season. So because of that, he has pulled out of. Are
we surprised? though? We are not surprised.
No, we are not surprised. Yes,
Federer, in the last couple of years, especially in 2020, has had to deal with serious knee injuries. As a matter of fact, he underwent two major knee surgeries on his right knee. So we're even surprised to see him come back and play this year, and then at Wimbledon as well. But unfortunately, he suffered a setback during SW19, and that's why he's now pulled out of the Olympics. It says, and I quote Federer, that is, I unfortunately experienced a setback with my knee, and I've accepted that I must pull out from the Tokyo Olympic Games. That's what he said on his social media. I'm greatly disappointed. It would have been an honor and highlight of my career each time I represented Switzerland. I've already begun rehabilitation in the hopes of returning to the tour later this summer.
Hope to see you at US Open.
I'm not holding my breath for that at all. Like, I mean, it's going to be 40, right?
Yeah, it will be.
It's hard to deal with the kind of injuries he's having now at this stage of his career. So even for the US Open, Cecilia, I'm not expectant at all. Okay. Federer, of course, won gold with Stan Wawrinka. That was in the doubles.
2012. But he lost the singles.
That was in 2008, Beijing.
2008, Beijing.
Won the doubles. Okay. But at the London Olympics, where he had the opportunity to win in the final against Andy Murray, of course. Andy Murray was simply on fire that year, and no one could stop him. Federer had to settle for silver. So it's safe to say Federer might not win gold, might not strike gold until... I mean, I don't see him going to the next Olympics in Paris.
I don't see that happening. So, okay, it's missing. All right.
Too bad. Looks like the gold medal...
Andy Murray will be at the Olympics.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
All right, continue with the teams that started arriving. Yes, we'll talk about Team Nigeria. We'll talk about Team Nigeria. But before we talk about Team Nigeria, quickly we'll talk about the Australian team. Now, they haven't the largest, the biggest. How many?
Ever. 488
uh,
athletes will be representing Australia. That's the biggest ever contingent to an Olympics. And Cecilia, it shows you they mean business, and they want to go to that competition to medal and get as many medals as possible. The vast majority of the athletes is 261 female, while Cecilia, nearly 300 of these athletes are scheduled to arrive in Japan. That's on Saturday. And Chesterman, that's the
chef de mission.
exactly, that's the leader of the delegation to the Olympics. Has more updates on what is expected from Team Australia.
Of course, and of course, it's also giving us update about the vaccination. Just about 2%, of the athletes, remaining to be vaccinated. Let's listen to him.
We will now have the third biggest team at this Olympic Games with a total of 488 athletes. That is the biggest team that we've ever taken away to an Olympic Games. Sydney is our biggest team ever. Athens was at 482, and now Tokyo becomes our biggest. 488 athletes. That's a remarkable achievement, particularly given the times at which these games are happening. And importantly, it bumps our number of women in that team up to 261, up from 254 previously. So we continue to have the majority of people, the majority of our athletes are female. There's a number of reasons for that. We also had a lot of athletes overseas, and whilst we've had the cooperation of many national Olympic committees around the world to help us vaccinate everybody, we weren't able to get everybody to a vaccination point. So that explains part of that. There's some for health reasons, and then there's others who don't want to have it. But we're talking about a handful of athletes in a cohort of 488, so I'm very comfortable. I think any country who could boast a 98% vaccination rate would be very comfortable with their health settings.
Big and huge. So many.
Massive.
All right.
Let's come home.
Okay. Let's come home and talk about
How many are
Team
we taking?
Nigeria. Okay. In all, including the Paralympians, 81.
Why are you including the Paralympians?
Okay,
We're talking
how
about
many?
the
Okay,
Olympics.
58.
There you go. So
58
58 to 488. Imagine the likes of the USA as well, to Team GB and all of the likes.
We're not doing comparison time.
We're not.
I mean, the numbers of sports they're doing is different from us because
Yeah.
we're having 9 sports, right?
Yeah,
So it's not the same. 9 sports talking about the Olympics.
I'm
here,
saying
so
all
it's
of
9
that
sports.
so we can just temper our expectations.
Okay,
compared to the
concerning
big countries, don't expect to go there and compete with those guys with the numbers we're taking. Anyways, the second batch of Team Nigeria departing yesterday for Tokyo.
Yeah, I mean, they're all happy and eager. We've seen Odunayo Adekuroye.
Yeah, the wrestling team.
Mambong Inse and Patience Okon George. And of course, our own taekwondoist, that's the only lady that will taking part in taekwondo.
Elizabeth Ayana
Cho. She's also part of
Safe
the squad.
travels.
Also, Grace Nwankocha, also part of the team that left yesterday to Tokyo. Safe travels for all of them. The third batch will be leaving soon, and then we'll have a full house in Tokyo.
All right, then. Let's still talking about Team Nigeria updates. Let's talk about basketball. Cecilia, not very...
D Tigers.
D Tigers.
Okay, sometimes you just have to, reality check. I think it's good for you to lose sometimes, especially exhibition games and build-up games. It helps you to understand that, yes, I've not arrived yet. I felt that, the first 2 games they played against the biggest teams, USA and Argentina. USA, before that game, they've just spent about 4 days in camp. And Nigeria has spent close to about 28 days in camp, before that. So I think that shows the difference. And of course, against Argentina, trying to remember what we did in Rio. And of course, those guys were spectacular. But by this time, they lost by 39 points to Australia, Team B. Why am I saying Team B? Because you didn't have the big top players playing, like the likes of Patty Mills, Aaron and Joe. These guys sat out. Josh Giddey and Chris Golden was guys who, had to excel in the absence of their NBA teammates. So Australia still have one more game to play this weekend against the USA. We'll see how big they will be. But then the game ended 108-69. How impressive was that? A blowout, you will say.
Yes, that's more than a blowout. Cecilia, the Boomers came out firing and led 49-26 late in the second quarter before cruising to that 39-point victory. Like we said, they were unstoppable from long range as well, nailing 18 of 29 in a remarkable shooting display. Nigeria struggled big time, especially from the perimeter. They made only 8 of 31 shots. Josh Okogie leading Nigeria with 10 points. Obi Emegano as well too. Scored 10 points. They were the only 2 Nigerians.
They were double digits. So Precious Achua had 7, Okafor had 7, Irego had 7, with no assist or no rebounds. I'm talking about Roberto Cafor had 5 rebounds and 1 assist. Precious Achiuwa had 6 rebounds and, of course, 1 assist. But then Megano and Josh Okogie were just the guys who were
bad day at the office.
A very bad day. He just brought them to earth. I'm like, okay, maybe the consistency just playing playing games and games and games.
Back to back.
A reminder that it happens, yeah.
Back to back games. Like we said, I mean the results doesn't really mean much in the grand scheme of things. But it would have been good to see them beat world number 3 Australia as well. But it wasn't meant to be for the Tigers. And of course, hopefully they learn from this and continue to improve in their bid to win a medal.
That's
at the
the end
Tokyo
of their
Olympics.
exhibition games, right? So they'll head to Tokyo. We need to go on a break right about now. When we come back, we'll listen to the coach of the Tigers,
Mike
Brown, talking about how impressive these players have been so far.
Even players from the past that have reached out, and then I'm in dialogue with guys. Programming for their country is off the charts, and I would say it's that way because of their parents. You know, one of the things that I told everybody when I gave my pitch about them coming to try out for the team, I said, hey, look, I'm going to try to make this the best experience for you as possible. We're going to try to put the best staff together. It's going to be NBA-ish, where we want to take care of you guys as best we can off the floor. We'll have an equipment guy, a security guy, a masseuse, a couple of trainers, the whole 9 yards. I said, but in return, I'm going to demand a lot from you when you're on the floor. And I expect for you to carry yourself on and off the floor like your parents who are from Nigeria, because everybody's parents are from Nigeria. So like your parents from Nigeria and your grandparents too. And as long as you're carrying yourself the way that your parents raised you and your grandparents, and you're playing your behinds off out on the floor, then I'm good. Because all of these guys, from me talking to them, have been raised in households where they've been raised in a Nigerian way. So they all understand their roots very, very well, and they're all passionate about their roots because of their parents and the people before them.
Excellent from Mike Brown. For those of you talking about passion and how confident and passionate these players are, now you understand why it's like that. Because raising Nigerian home, of course, the Nigerian spirit will always be there. Well, we have someone we've not seen for a long time. Demola Ogungbona, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for having me this morning.
Good to have you.
Good to see
Welcome
you. Welcome
back.
Good morning,
Okay.
Tyler.
Quickly, your thoughts on the Tigers before we just move on, wrap up the Olympic segment.
I mean, you mentioned that they are being well groomed in Nigerian homes and all that. You forgot to mention that Nigerian food as well play a huge factor.
Of course.
Pounded yam and egusi.
You know. So, I mean, they've done brilliantly, over the past, week, beating the US and Argentina as well. I mean, Australia, number 3 team. I think they beat the USA as well a few days ago.
Yeah.
So, that was always going to be tough. But then it's a good preparation for the Tigers. And something inside of me says they'll probably get a medal, at this Olympics. So wait and see.
That's all we're all hoping for.
Just knowing that, we just hope the support will just keep coming. The ministry will back them, more financial support for these players and, of course, for all the team. And that will also, help.
So far, so good.
So
no
far,
issues.
so good. No issues.
Yeah.
Because, they have to, keep it simple and nice.
Yeah.
We know what's happening. Okay, let's leave that and quickly talk about grassroots sports. Now, Ekiti state government is saying that where the talent hunt, if you're going for talent hunt, it has to start from school level. That's always the story. But how many really follow up with that after you have this talent? Do you do a follow-up? Well, inter-house sport taking place in Ekiti state, they believe that this will definitely help them, especially in catching them young. Let's listen to the organizers of this event, what they had to say concerning trying as much as possible to ensure that they have athletes that can represent Nigeria at international level. So when you're thinking of athletes going to the Olympics and all, you can mention some athletes are from Ekiti State, right? But let's listen to the organizers right here.
Yep.
Mr. Governor, Dr. Kayode Fayemi is committed to grassroots sport development. And I think this is one of them, catch them young. I could see some talented youth here, talented children that are here. I think what we need to do is to improve on what we are doing. Because when you begin to look at them from the beginning, when they are still young, you can develop them to become what is good for their parents, for the nation, and for the state. And I think this is a welcome development.
Sports right now is one of the biggest money earners in the world today. Look all over. It might be sprint, it might be boxing, it might be UFC, MMA. Sports is one of the biggest earners. When you have some footballers that earn as much as $100 million in a year. So this is where it starts from. Usain Bolt started somewhere. Flojo, Florence Griffith Joyner, and all other great sports people started somewhere. So this activities like this, fiestas like this, is where we can pick the talents of our future. And the more of them that we have as ambassadors, the more GDP, right, the state has, and the country eventually.
I just had faith in myself that I was going to win this. I'm very happy, I'm very great. I'm excited actually. In the track events, Usain Bolt, let me say, I like Usain Bolt. I love the way he runs, so I want to actually be like him too.
So Salami likes Usain Bolt and he wants to run like him.
Watch out for that name.
Watch out for him.
Yeah.
All right. And hopefully get all the support that he needs. Don't just drop him after that because he's a 100 meters winner. It's not easy, especially at the sprint.
All right. Okay, let's get on with the show now, Cecilia. Let's talk about the CAF Women's Champions League.
Yes.
Did you see this coming?
I'm not surprised about
I'm not
CAF
surprised.
because I keep wondering. I don't want. I wouldn't want it to sound like a broken record. Yeah, don't like using that phrase, but it happens all the time. I'm like CAF. Do you really
You've
have
never
a
been
program?
convinced about CAF and women's
program for
football
women's
in
football.
Africa?
Yes,
Never.
because I'm trying to understand what they're trying to do. Yes, football is not going everywhere. Yes, I know they will always tell you that it's COVID, but then the story we're hearing now is that the West African Football Union, that they're talking about, WAFU B qualifiers for the inaugural Women's Champions League that will be taking place later this year in Egypt. It's been postponed by a week. So we have the team manager of Rivers Angels, right with us this morning, Matilda Otwene. Her thoughts on this, because they postponed their ITO Cup because they were preparing for this. I mean, how will they be able to actually deal with this inconsistency coming from CAF? Remember, we also had to stop our league, have to go into the Super 8 where they have to play to quickly look for a champion that will represent Nigeria at this particular level. Good morning, Ma. It's good to have you join us this morning.
Good morning, Cecilia. Good morning to your crew. Good morning, Nigeria.
It's great to have you join us. I mean, we heard the news that the WAFUB tournament has been postponed. How is your camp reacting to this?
When I broke the news to the team yesterday, my girls were really not excited because they've prepared themselves physically, mentally, getting ready to get to storm them. Cote d'Ivoire. By today, we should have been airborne to Cote d'Ivoire. So when I told them about the postponement, I could tell you, I sensed it, they were not happy. I was not surprised. I knew that when I would tell them that they will react negatively. They were not really happy because I can tell you, they were in top form, top spirit, getting ready to take on the Azaka on Saturday.
Well, but unfortunately, that will not happen on Saturday because it's been postponed by 1 week. So what will be the program like for Rivers Angels right now? Because you were supposed to play your ITO Cup on Monday. It didn't happen.
Yes, that has been rescheduled. Tomorrow, we should be heading to Calabar to do our quarterfinal match on Friday.
Okay.
I think that will also keep them busy, keep them distracted, and keep them busy, getting focused ahead of next week.
So when will the team now leave for Cote d'Ivoire with this postponement? You have any other program outside, playing the ITO Cup, which I know all focus will definitely be on right now?
Cecilia, we have rounded all our programs, thinking that but now, after Friday, I think we don't want to put more pressure on the girls. By Monday, we should be heading to Lagos. We want to do one game with FC Robo. That's now the next plan before we get on board to Cote d'Ivoire.
Okay. Wishing you all the best, all the best that you can when you get to Cote d'Ivoire. And of
Thank
course,
you,
I know
Cecilia.
Nigeria
I want to assure Nigerians, give us all your support. Definitely, we're going to make Nigeria proud out there.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us this morning.
No surprises.
No surprise. Yeah, she also wasn't surprised at all. And I mean, what's the excuse given by CAF now? I mean, like trying to understand. Okay, why is this happening? Well, it was initially expected to kick off on the 17th, and now they're saying that it's going to be on the 24th to 5th of August. So the reason, well, not really too stated, but the story is it's been postponed by 1 week.
All right. Too bad.
I mean, no reason given, and it's just postponed. These are girls who have prepared themselves and are looking forward to travel already. But then it's been postponed for reasons best known to them. Luckily for the girls, they have a match. I mean, to keep them, abreast and keep them fit going into the match next week. So we wish them all the best as they travel next week.
All right then. Okay, so that's it for the Rivers Angels. Let's come back and talk about the ITO Cup for the guys. We're going to see round of 16 action today. Very interesting matchups to look forward to, Cecilia. And all right.
These are the games.
Let's talk about the
Gateway
games.
and Wiki Tourist to be in action. You have Katsina and Gombe United. Greenberg surprise package this time around. Greenberg and Sunshine Stars will be in action. Abia Warriors and Niger Tornadoes is another game to watch out for. But the biggest of the biggest, of course, is Plateau United and Nasarawa United. Both teams are obviously, top form. Heartland will also be facing Rivers United. Another big one. And Bayelsa United and Lobby Stars will also be in action in the round of 16 for today's game in the ITO Cup.
Demola, just give us
promises to be
give us our quarterfinal list before we leave. Pillars and Kirby.
But yes, I mean Plateau United as well. Champions of the MPFL, last season against Nasarawa. It promised to be very, very interesting. I can't wait to see the outcome of the game. Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. So and of course, the other guys still play the other MPFL teams.
Yes, there's
Rivers and Heartland.
It's going to be very, very enticing as well. So we'll see how it goes.
So you're trying to play smarter
By
by
predictions.
dodging.
You didn't
Just
always.
ask
I'm
him,
not gonna
say,
let
give
you.
me quarter
It's always
finalists.
that.
Quarter
Pillars
finalists.
and Kirby United.
It's
Come on.
always. It's
Pillars
always.
and Kirby. Come on. Come on.
I think Pillars will go
Come
through.
on.
I think Pillars
Pillars
will go
not
through. But then they
serious.
can be upset in these games. You know, we've seen it. Happen.
If Kirby should beat Pillars, I don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly. So
Ahmed Musa and the likes shouldn't go back to.
yeah. So
Kano.
Pillars should get that one done.
Okay.
Gateway, Wicked Tourists. Gateway. Remember what they did in previous round?
Yeah, but it doesn't
Dumping
matter.
Aqua.
But if they could beat Aqua, I think Aqua were trying to focus on winning the
league,
NPFL.
Okay.
of
So I
course.
wouldn't
So it's
really say
understandable.
that, and it was just by a lone goal. So I think Wiki will nick that. So you have two already.
Really?
So Pillars,
Okay.
Wiki, that's two. So
Green
they have-
Berets and Sunshine Stars.
I think Sunshine have been in decent form,
Yeah.
you know, in the MPFL. So
The
I
big
think
Pillars
they'll
over
do
the
just
weekend.
enough.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll rest players or not, but I think they'll do enough to
to take out Green Beret.
Exactly.
Okay, so we have Sunshine Stars.
Katsina Gombe United.
See, why you put me on the spot here? Katsina Gombe. I think Katsina should do enough to win as well. It's going to be interesting. Katsina is playing at home, so I think they should just do enough to nick it and get the deserved win there.
Yeah, there's nothing like home and away. You're playing outside of your home, so there's no comfort zone.
It's really
so
going to be
whenever
tough.
you're playing-
It's really
Abia
gonna be
Warriors, Niger Tornadoes.
Abiato have been decent. I expect them to get a win against Tornadoes as well. So
All
comes to be
right.
interesting.
So
Yeah.
Plateau Nasarawa quickly.
Don't take my word for it, guys.
Plateau Nasarawa.
Their games just have to hold on and wait for the results.
Yeah,
to
he
happen.
doesn't want to go near this one. I could tell.
Okay, I can stick out my neck for Plateau United.
Okay. I hope he doesn't get stuck.
Don't
Your
remind
neck.
me tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope
said
he doesn't get stuck.
I'm not convinced. I'm just saying I may or I will, but I didn't say I'm doing it, right?
Yeah.
They're two different things, right?
All right, so let's move on with the show now, Cecilia. Let's go and talk about, the fallout from the Euros, the final, England and Italy. Of course, the Azzurri winning 3-2 on penalties, and we know what happened afterwards. Very unsavory situation where Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, and Bukayo Saka were racially abused because they missed penalties in that particular game. Rashford, in particular, suffered a lot, after that incident. His mural was defaced with racial insults. And but what has happened is the artists have come together again to restore his mural, and we're going to see pictures are coming from there very soon. And Cecilia and Demola,
I mean,
we don't want to see all of this.
Of course, we don't want to see. It's sad, but I mean, the beautiful thing is the aftermath of it. You know, people coming together, supporting them. Even guys from other sports and different artists. I saw Lewis Hamilton as well making his own comments on the situation, and loads of people have come out to support. And even in Manchester United now, there's a mural of the three guys, Sancho, Rashford, and Bukayo Saka. Even in Manchester United, I mean, this is beautiful to see that Rashford's mural. People came together, a heart of love, emojis, and all that, and sending great messages. And even he has come out to express his gratitude and support, from the teammates and from the general public as well. So it's really good to see. Sadly, yes, another thing again, I think the British government and the FA, they're offering Bukayo Saka, Sancho, and Rashford an option to pursue criminal action against some of these guys who have these accounts. They've been going hard on them, and if they can fish them out, they're telling them now that if you want to pursue a criminal action against them, that you actually can, so we'll see how that goes. But then it's beautiful what is going on here, and how
it's great.
And the clubs too are supporting their players. I saw Arteta yesterday saying there are programs, in place for young Bukayo Saka, how they're going to, talk him through all, what has happened and how this can help build the young man's confidence back.
Around 700 people gathered at the Stand Up to Racism demonstration with a message from Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Boham also read out. So we don't want to see all of these stories in football. Racism has no place whatsoever in the beautiful game of football. While Marcus Rashford's mural was being restored in London as well, to Cecilia, we saw a commission of a picture of a mural of the London of the England team. The whole of the England team Yeah, that was commissioned in London as well, and they're all proud of the Three Lions.
Absolutely, yeah, that's the mural you're talking about, where you have Southgate, Harry Kane, Raheem Sterling, Rashford, all the team, that took part in that. And the slogan was, "You did us proud." Let's take a listen to the artist that did this.
Yeah, so we were introduced to City Hall and decided that it'd be great to show unity at this time, with a lot of controversy revolving around the Euros and the treatment of the players after the tournament, which was completely undeserved. So we were honoured and lucky enough to be able to do this mural in collaboration with the Mayor of London and City Hall. Yeah, I think it's definitely important to highlight the importance of getting racism out of football and out of life in general. Obviously, the players gave so much for their country. They worked their socks off. They got to the first final we've been in 55 years, and that's how they're treated after. It's a disgrace, and there's just no room for it. It should be gone.
Yeah, that's one of the graffiti artists, and it's Nina responsible for that very beautiful mural of the England national team.
I think it's just beautiful to see, and I think our fans are better educated. I know it hurts when they lose match in such circumstances, but then it's a penalty shootout. It's anybody's game when it comes to penalties. These guys gave their all, from the beginning to the end of the tournament, and I think fans should just learn to just relax, because I'm sure if Sterling practically carried this English team from the group stage to scoring important goals in the process, and it's sad that young Saka at 19 is such a responsibility of going to go take a PK, penalty. It was huge.
Decisive.
And they should have shown more support. And he performed brilliantly, And if not for that pull on Saka by Chiellini, maybe it would have been a different ball game, because he probably would have just ran the guy out and put the ball in the back of the net. Yes, there are cries of some fans that the final should be replayed.
It doesn't happen. They should forget about it. The football didn't go home. We went to Rome. We need to go on a break. When we'll come back, we'll be listening to reactions also coming from the repair of the mural of Marcus Rashford.
Consciously never about Rashford the footballer. That's the irony for us. It was very consciously about Rashford the man. So there's kind of a certain irony that it's been attacked for what the small mistake he's made on the pitch. But yeah, the fact now that it's got a new meaning, I think is really interesting. We did it because of his work, campaigning against child food poverty. That was the desire to make this tribute to him. But now, clearly, there's this issue of racism. That this is now, it's a powerful message in that mural now. A new message has come to the fore.
See, I come from an ethnic background myself, and I understand what it's like to kind of suffer from racism and that kind of stuff. And I'm not trying to make it all about me, but when those penalties were missed, I knew what was coming. And I think a lot of people knew what was coming, but they didn't want to say it. So when I woke up in the morning and I seen it, I wasn't surprised, but I knew that the community around would come and show their support, because that's the type of people we are. You look around you, there's black people there's white people, there's Asian people, and I love seeing that and showing that we're better than that. And it's just a few mindless individuals that are going to kind of do something that everyone else is not going to agree with. And we've already shown we're better than them and we're bigger than them.
Yeah, the repair was successfully carried out, and everyone coming together to show support for Marcus Rashford, especially after that mural was, defaced. But right now, the sad news about Marcus Rashford is the fact that he may miss the beginning of the season because he had to undergo, he will have to undergo a shoulder surgery, and he will miss about 2 months, and the season is starting in a month's time. So not a good one at all. Let's leave Rashford and every other thing that has to do with racism and quickly talk about why Harry Kane, Cristiano Ronaldo, Paul Pogba, Benzema, Karim Benzema, they're all missing in top 11 at a tournament like this. The star players you expected to be there, you would think could have been there and not there because the team did not really perform so well you know,
So-
in Euros. No, these are the teams who perform so well. For Italy, the champions, of course, they have 5 players expectedly. No doubt about
Donnarumma
that.
in goal. Of course, Kyle Walker, Bonucci, Maguire, Spinazzola, of course, one of the
He
best.
got
Injured, yeah, I
He
think
got
he's
played
done
in the
enough.
final. He did enough
Yeah.
to make it.
There's also Oibie,
Denmark,
Jorginho,
from Italy.
exactly, and there's Pedri as well.
Pedri is supposed to be in that position.
Yeah, exactly.
from
Can't have
Spain.
two Oibie.
Yeah, of course. You had Pedri there.
Yeah,
So from
and
Spain, I mean, that guy was something else all through.
Youngster played like a
18
veteran.
years old,
Yeah.
and
18 years
he
old,
was
and
brilliant.
It was,
you know.
it was brilliant, yeah. Of course, then you have the front three. You
Chiesa,
have,
Lukaku, and Sterling.
Ryan Sterling. Yes, of course. Ryan Sterling should be there. Lukaku, I don't know. I thought maybe
Not
Ronaldo
sure
could have
about
been
that
there
as well.
Because why? He had the
Demola.
most goals. But what they did here, when they look at those who made it to the semi-finals and the finals.
How do you know that? What is Lukaku doing there? Did Lukaku get to the semis? What are you saying? These guys just come up with these things and they choose what they want, and because
Lukaku made quarterfinals.
So yeah, but he just said
But
semis
Ronaldo
and
made-
finals.
Yeah,
I
okay,
think- I think-
quarterfinals. Yeah, okay, one. That's why he's the only one that was playing.
Yeah, I
There's
think
no
Lukaku's overall play in the tournament.
overall play, okay.
When you realize that captains, coaches, former coaches, and you know what have you come together to actually pick these players.
This
yeah?
was done by the UEFA Observer Committee.
Yes.
So
You have a technical study group.
Yeah.
Yes,
They usually
I don't think Lukaku played badly, but then when you have a top goal scorer Ronaldo and even Patrick Schick with 5 goals as well.
Come on.
I mean,
Come
yeah,
on.
you know.
Yes, now you're
But
talking.
that's why I'm saying that they probably look at the overall play of Lukaku, his effect
What
on
was
the team,
special
his
about-
power
what
play.
was special about Lukaku's
there
overall
were
play?
games that I saw Lukaku play and it was just unplayable. It was brilliant. You know, he ran the fences ragged.
Okay.
And yes, he didn't score all the goals or he didn't get to the semis or the finals. But then again, I think he did just enough to warrant his position in that team.
I don't agree with Lukaku's inclusion at all. At all. You just mentioned Ronaldo and Sheik. I mean, it should have been one of those guys, leading the
I mean,
attack.
Schick scored one of the goals of the tournament in this Euros. For Czech. You know, if he had been there, I wouldn't, you know, begrudge him of his place on the team. But I think Lukaku as well, more than just did enough to earn his place in that team.
Fair enough.
Did enough in any place. That's what is important. It's right there. I don't envy those that will be responsible for choosing who will win Ballon d'Or at the end of the year.
It's really going to be tough. It's really going
There's
to be
no
tough.
standout.
Yeah, no
standout player.
I can hear names being thrown up here and there.
Like
Jorginho, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard
Come on.
that.
Guys.
I was like,
Come
what
on,
are we
really?
thinking?
He won the
Is it that
Euros, he won the
bad now?
Champions League. I mean,
Yeah.
these are criteria that, you know, more or less over time they use in picking
Okay,
players.
give it to Messi. He won
Messi
Copa
as well,
America.
yes. Messi won the Copa
I mean,
America.
he's so handy.
But then
he was spectacular all through. So
that's
give
the
it to
word.
him.
But then he didn't win the league. He didn't win his league. He didn't win the Champions League. So that might count against him.
So who will you pick from Chelsea who won the league and also won the Euros?
I think Jorginho.
That's
Jorginho,
it.
yeah.
So that's why.
Yeah, but Jorginho is no Ballon d'Or. Come on, guys. I mean, good player.
No candidate.
Decent player,
I
but
know
it's
we
no
always
Ballon
focus on
d'Or.
the strikers,
Nah,
people scoring
come
all the
on.
goals, but he has been the
Within defenders who you can
defenders as
actually
well,
vouch
yeah.
for.
Even
and say, yes, he
Donnarumma,
can,
you
but
know,
you
I
can't-
mean, did brilliantly.
Donnarumma.
Yes.
Nah.
It's a possibility.
No, it's not. It's not. It's
What
not
club
Ballon
does he
d'Or.
play for again?
AC Milan.
Nah, he's moved
AC
to
Milan. And what
PSG.
happened to AC Milan in Serie A?
He's moved to
That
PSG
decided
now.
on conspire to just lose. They had the momentum to win the Italian league, and they couldn't.
I think he might just go back to Robert Lewandowski. We'll see. Broke that record in the German Bundesliga and all of that, but we'll see.
Goals,
Goals and goals
and league
And
titles
titles.
should be enough.
In a year when there's no standout player.
Okay,
Okay, we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Sporting Sun. Sporting Sun. I hope they have a better headline today. Okay, yeah, I think it's yeah.
What?
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Okay, I'll leave the first one there.
Okay.
So Lewandowski open to Real Madrid move.
Okay, that's interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
At
Sancho
what age?
completes the Man United medical.
Yeah,
It doesn't really matter. You
Yeah.
can score goals. That's what matters. If you can score goals, then you can. Onuachu's West Ham move stalls. This will not go away, right?
Okay.
So, in the NHL report for pre-season tour, that's
Yeah.
a good one. And we know that just yesterday, Arsenal lost to
Hibs.
Hibs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The Scottish League team.
Yeah, it's just
Okay, it's just preseason.
It's preseason.
But they have
missed.
all the players. Everyone except Bukayo Saka played.
No, they came in the second half. I saw bits and pieces of
Wait,
highlights.
did they play?
Of course they did.
I watched the game.
They hit the bar a couple
Did
of
they
times,
play?
missed the penalty, and it could have been different if those free kick had gone
So
in.
when you're saying
it's not
they all
but
played.
just pre-season, Cecilia cut them a slack already.
It's not a
I'm
drama.
not cutting, I'm
Cecilia.
just saying that. I just mentioned it, right?
Yeah.
It was just mentioned.
Your tone, though.
Okay, why were the American team, like, how do I put it, ridiculed because they lost to the Tigers exhibition game? It happens, right? Same thing. So it's just pre-season.
Sports and Life is the next paper for review. Leicester City pre-season, like I said, in Didi and Iheanacho train again. PSG give up on Messi. That would have been some signing for PSG if they pulled that off. Sancho completes medical at Manchester United. Didn't have the best of the Euros, but looks like he's on his way to Old Trafford. Ibrahimovic releases 150 million quid for Haaland. Giroud sets dates for Milan medical.
Because now they understand that Timo Werner can lead the attack.
Yes, of course. That's settled already. Locatelli prefers to join Juve over Arsenal. AC Milan targets Rodriguez.
And the final one this morning is Complete Sport. And here you have Napoli fans expect many goals from Osimhen. New season starting August 22nd, and the fixtures will be out today. Many goals from Osimhen?
Yes. I think he has all the capabilities. I mean, it was hampered by injuries all through last season, but towards the latter stages of the season, he came back and scored some fantastic goals for Napoli. If he managed to have a good pre-season going into the new season, I think he's a striker they can look up to score 20, 25 goals for
20-25.
Yes, because the way the team plays, and if he can put those goals on the back of the net like we know he can do, I think he's a very industrious striker. He's very strong.
Very industrious.
As well. So I think he will come good for Napoli.
And the final one here is Bonucci says Italy were inspired by England fans booing their national anthem. So England, that's why they took the trophy home.
Yeah, next time don't boo their anthem.
Don't boo their national
Try and
anthem.
respect,
it's the pride of their country. Demola, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully you don't stay away for so long.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Tayo Salam.
I'm Cecilia Mwongbe. Have a great day.